Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel and happy Halloween. Today I would like to give you a wrap up for the month of October. I will tell you which readings I've been doing and the one that I will choose for the month of November. From my October TBR, I haven't read all the books on my list for various reasons, but I really enjoyed this month because I did a lot of things. I've been to concerts, I traveled a little bit. It was time to start living again after the whole year of pandemic. The books that I read this month are The Halloween Tree by Ray Bradbury. It talks about a group of friends that go trick or treat during Halloween and one of them goes missing. And that's when their journey through time and history starts to uncover the roots of the Halloween night. I read The Bloody Chamber by Angela Carter, and I can say that I really enjoyed it. I like two stories in this collection. They're a retelling of fairy tales. I started this book because I was interested in reading the story Wolf Alice, from which one of my favorite bands took inspiration to call themselves. I like the story, but the ones that I like the most are The Lady of the House of Love and The Bloody Chamber that gives the title to this book. The others were not really well written in my opinion. Didn't even like the fact that these stories were supposed to be seen from a feminist perspective, but I didn't really find any feminism in them. It talks a lot about women, but not in a feminist way in my opinion. They are very sexualized. I don't know, I didn't really like this book. I like just those two stories. Just because The Lady of the House of Love is an interesting take on the Sleeping Beauty, seeing her like a vampire. Then I read Jane Eyre by Charlotte Brontë. I always enjoy classics, and this one is not horror, but it has some gothic elements into it. Because there is a little bit of a mystery in this story. As I said in my previous video, I already started Son of Rosemary. I can't really say that I enjoyed it because eventually I DNF'd this book. It wasn't really horror and there was nothing interesting in this book. I found it really boring compared to Rosemary's Baby that I really enjoyed. And I was a little bit disappointed because I really love Ira Levin books, but this one was not the right book for this month probably. I don't know if I'll finish it because I want to know how it ends, but at the moment I'm not really interested, so I will go on with other books and then I'll see how it goes. I also read the first book from the Horrorland series by R.L. Stine. It's a spin-off of Goosebumps. The story was nice, but I don't know. It was a bit annoying. I was listening to the audiobook, so the audiobook experience, I don't know, I think it always ruins books by R.L. Stine. It happens before with other books. I started the second one, that is Crypt from the Deep, and from the start it sounds a bit more interesting for what I like, but I will see how the rest of the series go. Unfortunately I didn't finish all the series. That's okay. I knew that I wouldn't finish it. The other books that were in my TBR were Vatek, that I haven't started, but I want to read it eventually. I didn't even read Stephen King this time, and Horns by Joe Hill, and Dark Matter by Michel Pavert. I started Dark Matter, but I think I wasn't in the right mood to read it, so eventually I decided to postpone the reading for another month. Maybe in December, I don't know. But I read other books. I read We Have Always Lived in the Castle by Shirley Jackson, and I really loved it. That's a really good book, very atmospheric, and I really loved the story as well. So I recommend you to read that one. I gave it 5 stars, so it's really good in my opinion. I also started the Graveyard book by Neil Gaiman, but I haven't finished it yet, so I can really give you feedback about that. The reason why I started this book is because I went to the Highgate Cemetery lately. It was one of the places that I visited during this month. And it was the inspiration for Neil Gaiman to start this book. By the way, if you want to know more about the Highgate Cemetery, you can watch it in my other videos. It's divided in 2 parts. The first one is about the information and the second one is just a walkthrough the Highgate Cemetery. So if you want to watch that one, you can enjoy that. I also started reading some books by Bram Stoker. I started Dracula's Guest and other weird stories that I'm going to finish next month because From this book I read 3 stories that I really enjoyed. I also read the book The Lair of the White Worm, always by Bram Stoker. It's considered one of the worst books ever written, and I don't know why, because I really enjoyed this book. The way Adam, the main character, leads into the story, it's very interesting in my opinion. Okay, maybe the ending was not amazing, it was not Dracula, but still, it was a good reading. Going on with the TBR for this month. Basically what I decided to do is to choose 8 books to read, and then I will choose 2 Stephen King books from this jar here. So basically inside this jar with this hand, I put some titles by Stephen King, and I will only pick 2 so I can decide which one I will read this month. We can call this segment, I don't know, hand me a title. So I will choose 2 books from this one, and then I will tell you the ones that I put in my TBR. Okay, let's give it a shake. Let's see what comes out. Okay. The first title. Oh shit. It's really difficult to do it with this hand. Let me take this off just because it's not really easy to do with the gloves. Okay, so the first one is Later. Yeah, I like this one. This was one of the books that I wanted to read this year. It was actually one of my most anticipated books from this year, so that was lucky. I haven't read this yet, despite having it for months on my shelf, but was glad to pick this one. Okay, let's pick another one. Okay, the other one is Dance Macabre. This is not a novel, it's a non-fiction book. If I remember well, I think it talks about a horror in the mainstream, like in literature and in horror movies and stuff like that, if I remember well. So yeah, to read a non-fiction book is also a good thing. So these 2 will be the 2 books that I will read from Stephen King this month, Later and Dance Macabre. The other books that I want to read this month are the following. I want to read Arthur Miller, The Crucible. This is a play actually, but given it's the one from which the movie The Crucible is inspired, I want to read it because I really love that movie. It's with Winona Ryder. It's good because I'm having a little bit of everything in this TBR. I have a non-fiction book, a fiction book by Stephen King that is not very long, so I don't think it will take me long. And is also one of the most anticipated from this year. Then I have this play, and then I decided to read another book by R.L. Stine. This time it will be from the Fear Street series, because I'm interested in reading something about witches. And that's why I choose The Crucible and this one that is The Betrayal. This book is considered one of the best ones from the Fear Street series, so that's why I want to know more about this one. My third choice will be Clive Barker's The Scarlet's Gospel, because I read already The Hellbound Heart and I want to read the sequel that is The Scarlet Gospels. Then I went to read another book by Shirley Jackson because I really enjoyed We Have Always Lived in the Castle. So I was thinking of adding The Haunting of Hill House. As I said, I started reading Dracula's Guest and other weird stories by Bram Stoker, so I will continue with that one. And then for my TBR of November, I want to add Jack Ketchum's The Girl Next Door, Hell House by Richard Matheson. I want to give another chance to this author because I loved The Shrinking Man. I liked I Am Legend. I didn't love it, but I want to try another book by this author, so Hell House is a good choice in my opinion because I heard the positive reviews about it. Finally, I want to read Home Before Dark by Riley Sager. So 8 books plus the 2 by Stephen King, so with Dance Macabre and Later. This will be my TBR for November, and this is all I can tell you about what I did in October. I will show you some images of what I've been doing this month. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Happy Halloween again, and I will see you into the next one. Bye!